Prof, welcome once again to the program. Good to have you as always. I'm just looking at an APSA market, Ghana market insight, and they say they believe that the cedi has rallied too far. They generally expect that, the cedi will close the 0.16 to the dollar. When they did this study, the rate was 13 cedis, 13.05 to the dollar. Now it's gone down further to 12.4 to the dollar. The question to you is, do you share the view that the cedi has rallied too far?
Good morning, and good morning to my colleagues and friends in the studio. Yeah, so I think to start off, to answer the question directly, I don't think that you end the year with the cedi trading what is currently trading against the US dollar. I don't expect for a minute that that's where we are going to be. Now, I think I generally agree with the point that Dr. Tia Kabiru mentioned about why the cedi has appreciated. The only thing I'll add is that I think it's also obvious that since the last election, confidence within the Ghanaian economy has really strengthened. And it strengthened even further when the budget was read and when the IMF came to the staff level agreement with the government of Ghana. There had been some worries that because of the challenges towards the end of the year, perhaps it might take longer to get the SLA done. If you look at the Bank of Ghana's summary of economic and financial data, you see between the end of last year and February alone, consumer confidence index has jumped about 10% up, and the business confidence survey has also jumped up. So in addition to all the factors that he mentioned, there's also been some confidence in the economy that has somehow contributed to the cedi. But like he said, it's very difficult to...
But what will you attribute this confidence to? Is it just by virtue of a change of government and the positive, perhaps, signals the government is sending or the promises it made that perhaps it appears to be fulfilling? I don't know. What will you attribute the confidence to?
So I think the data that I'm referring to was for February. Notice that as of February, the government had not really announced any policy. So I would largely attribute that to, just the change, the change that happened at the polls brought some change in mood. And I think there's some positivity that comes with having a new government. But I think at the MPC meeting this month, when they release the updated data, we'll see whether there's been further bounce from the policies that have been announced. You expect that once the budget was announced, and in the main, Ghanaians' expectations, especially in regards to taxes, were met, perhaps, you might see some additional bounce coming from that angle.
I see. But yes, go ahead.
So, but I think coming to the broader point about how quickly the cedi has appreciated, I think I will largely agree that the appreciation perhaps has gone a little too far. But even more importantly, I think that, making the currency appreciate so quickly or so sharply over a short period, I'm not sure it's such a clever thing to do, because it is as much volatility to see the currency appreciate so quickly, so sharply in a short period, as it is when it goes the other way. When the currency depreciates so quickly and so sharply in a short period, you see the concerns that comes with uncertainty. In some sense, it's the same thing that is happening. I think even if you wanted the cedi to appreciate, I would have preferred that it was more slow and steady than to let it jump very quickly. Then the broader question is, do we really want the cedi to appreciate to the level that it is? I think that in the main, what markets want is stability. So and you notice that over the last 6 to 9 months or so, it's been kind of stable around the 15 to 16 range. I'm sure many businesses would have planned their year expecting that that's where the currency is going to be. So to see this sharp appreciation in that short period, for me, I'm not sure that that is the best use of our reserves. I would have preferred that, yes, some external factors are helping stabilize the cedi. And then, of course, the policy change with regards to, the decision to accumulate more dollar reserves, more gold reserves have helped. But I wouldn't have expected that now would be the time to kind of liquidate some of that position to support the cedi or pump the amount of dollars that the BOG has done in the last month. So it's not like we're in a period where the cedi was under pressure for which you needed to pump dollars to support it. So I would have preferred that even if you wanted the cedi to appreciate, it would have been slow and a little steady, and definitely not to this extent, so that we could hold of more reserves. Because, when things turn around for the advanced countries' economies, some level of pressure will come on the cedi for sure. And, starting from next year, when our external debt service payment ramps up, you should also expect that some additional pressure will come. So I would have preferred that perhaps we held more of our reserves and held the position so that it will allow us to keep the cedi more stable around the 15 range for much, much longer. And I think that will still have brought the flexibility that, the predictability that businesses would expect.